Copywriting is an essential skill for those of us that are trying to manage thriving communities and have high retention inside of our membership programs. So today I'm going to share with you 4 simple questions that you can leverage for more effective copywriting. Copywriting is a really important skill for anybody in business, especially in those early days when you are the solopreneur doing all of the marketing and content strategy yourself. Now, eventually, copywriting might be something that you hire out to a really great copywriter, but in the meantime, it's a skill that you need to have. Now, if you're a community manager, I also recommend that copywriting be a focus for you. You need to know how to write really compelling, concise copy that gets people to take action. Now, we talk a lot about the importance of attention and action. Those are 2 things that we need to prioritize whenever we're trying to get people to make progress inside of our online programs. It is a big challenge because ultimately there are so many things that distract them. Not only distract them from reading the very thing that you have written, but also from understanding, comprehending, taking action on what you have written. So what do we need to do? Well, you don't have to be an all-star copywriter, but there are 4 questions that you can use whenever you're writing copy, whether it be a social post inside of your community or it be an email about a deliverable. These 4 questions can help make sure that piece of copy is really effective. Now, these are going to combat against some of the biggest issues that I see in membership copy and course copy when it comes to trying to get members information or get them to take action. And the biggest of those is that you try to cram everything into one email. I see this all the time, especially when we're looking at onboarding emails. There's like 15 things listed out that people need to do. It also can happen when you're releasing new deliverables every single month, when you're trying to convince them that they need to take action inside of your membership. You give them way too many options and it feels overwhelming. So that's one of the things that these 4 questions is going to help combat. It's also going to help you get really focused on just the copy that is the most important. It's going to give you a framework as well for those of you that don't like staring at a blank page. You can leverage this framework to get a basic copywriting outline in place for that post or that email. In fact, if you're leveraging something like ChatGPT to be able to write copy faster, you can give ChatGPT this framework and it will help you get ChatGPT rolling in the right direction for you. Okay, so this is going to be super short, super simple, but really effective. All right, 4 simple questions for more effective copywriting. The first question: what do I want them to do by when? What do I want them to do by when? This has to be the very first question that you ask because it's the purpose of the email. Well, what do I want them to do? Why am I writing this email? Maybe I want them to think about something or feel a certain way or take action. It's not always watch this, write that, reply, click this link. Sometimes it is, I want them to actually think about something or I want them to feel a certain way. But we need to answer this question because this is going to determine the focus of that piece of copy. We should always only have one focus and one call to action inside of our copy. So if you're writing an email, it should be one focus and one call to action. The only exception for this is a newsletter where you have multiple sections and each section should have one focus and one call to action. So that question of what do I want them to do by when can help you really nail down that clear focus and that clear call to action. You need to have that call to action in your mind before you ever start writing your copy. You don't want to write the copy and then come up with a call to action at the end. All of the copy should be pointing people to that one call to action, okay? So what do I want them to do and by when? Sometimes that by when it's, non-existent. It's before they leave the program or within the next year or whatever it might be. But oftentimes there is a specific deadline. And if so, you want to be super clear about that. And in fact, even if there's not a true deadline, creating an arbitrary deadline can help create momentum where previously there wouldn't be momentum because there's not a clear deadline. Deadline just makes something become a priority when they have 1,000 things on their list that have deadlines and yours doesn't. Guess what's getting pushed to the bottom? Yours. So what do I want them to do by when? Question number 2, why does it matter to them? Why does it matter to them? Oftentimes when we are writing emails about new deliverables or events that we want people to participate in, we're telling them all of the things that we think are really cool, all of the things that we find really awesome about that particular event or deliverable. But the reality is we always need to be putting ourselves in the audience members, the community members, the readers' shoes. Why should they care? Not why do you care? Or why do you think they should care? But really, why is this going to matter to them? And oftentimes this has to go back to that core cause, that core purpose that people joined your community for in the first place. Why are they here? What kind of progress are they trying to make? And how is taking action on this thing, how is this going to help them make more progress or get closer to their goal, or whatever that thing might be that they are a part of your world for? Why does it matter to them? Is it easier? Is it faster? Is it a shortcut? Is it going to help them make more progress? Is it going to help them feel more connected? There's got to be a reason why it's important to them. We don't ever want to assume that people know the value of the thing that we're trying to get them to take action on. We always want to spell it out for them. So question number 1, what do I want them to do by when? Question number 2, why does it matter to them? And question number 3, how do they do it? How do they do it? Sometimes this part seems so intuitive that it gets completely left out. And you've seen these emails, especially during launches when people are really overwhelmed and you get that second email, which is like oops, forgot the link. I told you to join me live on Zoom and I forgot the link. So this question of how do they do it is really important. So we can tell people, hey, we want you to determine your customer avatar. Let's say something super simple like that. You need to determine your customer avatar and you need to do it before we release module 2, because if you don't have your customer avatar by the time we release module 2 on Tuesday next week, then you're going to feel behind. This is really important because, and so you're going to tell them how it's going to help them in whatever goal it is that they joined your program for, but then how do they do it, right? Sometimes this means that we have to think, how am I supporting them and taking action on this? A lot of times you already have a resource that you just need to point them to. You've already got a guide. Sometimes you need to give them a couple of questions maybe, or give them a resource that's external to your organization. But how do they do it is an important question for you to ask, because you need to ask yourself, okay, if this is how they need to do it, even if it's just click a Zoom link, right? We have to make sure clicking the Zoom link is important, that they have the Zoom link, right? But if it's something more robust than that, then it gets us thinking about how do we make it as easy as possible for them to take action, to see the progress that action is supposed to be leading to. And this may mean that we are mining our own library for existing resources that we're going to guide them to. It may mean that we're pointing to external resources, or it may mean that we're creating something new, even if it's just some questions that we put right there. But we want to eliminate the friction that can get in the way between the thing you're asking them to do and the end result. Everything in between that they have to figure out on their own is a point of friction. So the more that we can spoon feed it to them, the better. So like I said, sometimes this is super simple. It's like you can join this call by clicking here at the time, 5 minutes before the call. You can also keep an eye out for an email that's going to come, or click here to add it to your calendar and then click the link in your calendar at the time. Like, spell it out for them what they need to do and eliminate as much friction as possible. So that was question number 3. We have, what do I want them to do by when? Why does it matter to them? And how do they do it? The 4th and final question for more effective copywriting is, what do they need to do next? What is their very clear next thing. So if the next thing is to look for the following email, if the next thing is to show up live, if the next thing is to share their results in the group, whatever that is, we always want them to be future thinking about what's coming next. And this is where we can anticipate future things that they're going to be getting access to inside of the course or inside of the membership. But we always want to be getting that momentum built for the next thing that they're going to be working towards. Now, sometimes there isn't a next. Sometimes it's just one very simple thing that they need to do. And so question number 4 isn't applicable, but a lot of times it is. And so we ask it so that when we have an opportunity to carry them through to the next action or to future cast something that's coming, which can help with retention a lot. By the way, when we tease what's coming, it can help retention, okay? So we want to be asking this question because oftentimes there are opportunities for us to keep that snowball of momentum going, or maybe there truly is like a next thing for them to be looking for, like an email to open, or you want them to share their results in the Facebook group once they've done the thing. Or again, future thinking of, hey, in module 2, we're going to be talking about this thing. So when you move to module 2, this is going to be really important. That can be the what's next. All right, so whenever we write copy, whether it be for an email or for a post inside of the community or whatever it might be, we always want to make sure that we have one clear focus and one clear call to action. The 4 simple questions that you can ask to make sure that you stay clearly focused and have one call to action and have more effective copywriting that moves people to action are: what do I want them to do by when? Why does it matter to them? How do they do it? And what do they need to do next? Now, again, not all of the elements of each of these 4 questions are going to apply every time, but you want to ask them every time so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to include them to make the most effective piece of copy. If this was helpful for you, we talk about this in a whole lot of other aspects of managing a community, creating a thriving community, and how do we really get people to take action that leads to progress inside of my community training program called Cultivate. So if you haven't had a chance, go to communitycultivated.com or just go to shanalyn.com and click on training, and you can learn more about Cultivate.